Wealth has boiled down to only money, and therefore money has gained a lot of importance. Everybody wants to work harder so that they can enjoy more. We earn money because it makes us feel better than who we actually are. This attitude or these mindsets has made money very important. You can have all the money in the world, okay, but if you don't have health, it's pointless. The role of money is to make sure that the children are given the best of opportunities and provided a platform so that they can become better human beings. You are in a position today to share your knowledge with someone. You make it a responsibility that you will share your knowledge. Keeping aside a certain amount of money to give back to society is also our duty.
Hello and welcome back to another episode on the Meraklis Beings series. And we are back with Ajay. For more those of you who've not caught our earlier episodes, Ajay Ushakanth is a teacher and is a life coach who works with individuals who are over 30. And he uses the Bhagavad Gita to coach people to solve whatever dilemmas that they are facing in their life. And we've already heard the many nuggets of wisdom Ajay has for us in solving modern day crisis. And today we are back with yet another topic that is relevant to all of us, no matter where we are, no matter what we do. This is something that affects each and every one of us. And today we are going to be discussing the role of money. Welcome back, Ajay. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Hi, Shwetha. Nice to have you back again.
Yes, absolutely. I think I love our conversations. I love the many tangents and how much value every episode is packed with. So thank you once again for spending your time to share these inputs with us. So I'm going to go straight to the point. Yeah, we've spoken about money often, but before we talk about money in modern times, what if we started with what was supposedly the role of money, if there was any in the scriptures? Is there a mention?
So, in the scriptures, they talk about four purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So, we'll leave Moksha aside for now. So, what was Artha? What is the meaning of Artha? Artha is anything that I look upon as a source of security.
So, it's not money.
Or, no, it's not money. Right?
Okay.
Or another way is that which makes me feel secure. So, Artha could be having a very dear friend. Right? Artha could be having a house. Artha could also mean having gold, money. So, Artha was not only about money. Anything that gave me a sense of security was considered as Artha. Right? And money happened to be one of it. The Vedas understood, right? Which is why they had the Avahanti Homa. They said wealth is necessary. Lord Bhagwan Vishnu's wife is goddess Lakshmi, right? He wouldn't have married her if she wasn't of any use. Right? So wealth is necessary. Resources are necessary. But what has happened over a period of time is wealth has boiled down to only money. And therefore, money has gained a lot of importance. Right? Let's look at the second Purushartha. Kama. Kama is basically living a comfortable life. You can live a comfortable life only if you have money or resources. You can have all the money in the world, okay, but if you don't have health, it's pointless. So Kama was considered as the second Purushartha, and money was required for the fulfillment of Kama. But the scriptures gave the third Purushartha, which is Dharma. He said, you go about earning whatever you want, accumulating whatever you think will make you secure. You go about enjoying life, but make sure it's legitimate. So, Dharma was a speed breaker for both Artha and Kama.
I like that.
This was the vision. But today, I think it's said, yena kena prakarena, right? Today, there are no speed breakers. You will go to any extent to either fulfill all your desires or the desires that you have in you, or to gain the money that you want.
Yeah.
The common phrase that you hear is everything is fair in love and war, right?
Yeah.
That was
where
not the
money
vision.
comes.
Exactly.
Is it
But
love or
in
is
the
it
script,
war?
you do both, right? The love that makes you go to war.
Yeah. Obsession, more like it.
Yeah. So the scriptures understood very, very clearly that this Artha, let's take Artha because we're talking about money, is dependent on one's background, the society that he is born with, in, and also the upbringing, the exposure that he has had. So, what will make a person secure? Let's take, for example, gold makes someone secure. Another person may not be secure with gold. He may want properties, right? Or he may say, I want to be the CEO of a company. For him, that is his level of security. So, this sense of security or artha keeps changing from person to person and within a person's life from time to time. So we need to understand that it is fluid. There is no one size fits all category in this. Everyone has their own journey, and in their journey, priorities change. However, if you were to look at the modern day context, why has money become very important? I think in the scriptures, there's a word called titiksha, which is delayed gratification. I think along the way, that word got deleted.
Yeah, it's still there. It's instant gratification.
Exactly. Right? Now, everything is 10 minutes. Swiggy, 10 minutes. I think Zepto, this one, that one.
Link it.
Right? Yeah. Guys don't want to wait. And the reason they're able to get this on time, so my standard dialogue is, I want it, when I want it, the way I want it, for the period I want it. Okay. This is possible with money.
Yeah.
Because it has that power to get you things. And therefore, money has suddenly become very important. And the new phrases, which I always talk about, FOMO, right? I don't want to miss out on anything.
Yeah.
I want all of it, right? Second is this new thing of you only live once. Everyone only lives once. No?
Yeah.
Right? And the third one is my favorite, going with the flow. Right? Which means today I am going to indulge as much as I can because who knows about tomorrow? This attitude or these mindsets has made money very important. Therefore, what was the vision has got diluted and now it's crystallized only to money.
Yeah. Very interesting, because when you say it that way, when Artha is more than money, it is actually what gives you security. Your perspective is so much different, because now you're looking at it saying, oh, I have these things already. Otherwise, we're just so zoned in on focusing on one aspect of money or wealth or net worth. But when you look at it, you're rich in many other aspects. Do we need a little bit more of those physical resources? Maybe, right, in terms of money. But the perspective is not a place of lack when you widen that definition. But you're absolutely right that we are completely obsessed. And I think all our B schools, and I come from a B school, so I know how much those packages matter in those placements discussions. What package did you get placed in, right? That is the question. It doesn't even matter what company are you going in, what value systems is the company having, do you align with the ethos? All of that is later, secondary. What role? Secondary, right? Did you get the top package or not? And this obsession runs so deep because it doesn't end there, right? If I see the B school graduate's life, it is also as you grow up, is your peer getting a bigger raise? Did they become a unicorn? Did the business that they run become a unicorn? If yes, what is their current net worth? And the comparison is always on because, like you said, the world is run on money.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. So you said, where is this arising from? And you gave us a couple of those mindsets. Is there something more in terms of where is this obsession to amass more and more money happening?
I think, again, it's a tangent, but I think the amount of information that is available today, right, opens up so many windows of opportunities. And one has no clarity in one's life. And therefore, he feels that I want it all. And because he wants it all, he realizes to want it all, I need money. Right? And therefore, the obsession is growing. This is what I've observed, especially in the last 10 years since I've been teaching.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to work harder so that they can enjoy more.
Yeah.
Right? But are they really enjoying it? It's a question they only know, right?
Yeah.
So this lack of priority or clarity in one's life, okay, is what makes one chase money endlessly.
Yeah.
And then in the Taittiriya Upanishad, it says, no, kimaham sadhuna karvam, kimaham papam karamati. He says, when I had the opportunity to do the right thing, I didn't do it.
Mm.
And when I had the opportunity to avoid the wrong thing, why did I not stop myself? That is the biggest regret towards the end of one's life, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't come that easily. One needs to go through that whole journey.
Yeah.
Swami Dayananda ji says, if you want vairagyam, get married. Then he says, if that is not enough, build a house.
Oh, yes.
Right? He says, you will learn what life can give, what life cannot give, what money can give, what money cannot give.
Yeah.
This is what I feel is lacking.
Goes back to that introspection that we spoke about, right? To really understand yourself and recognize saying, what is enough for me, right? What is most important? Is it money or something else? And then really choosing what is it that I want to pursue.
Yeah.
And I think the question that also comes to me is that since the scriptures already thought of all of this, I'm sure they also thought of what is the vision for money that they had.
So, many years back, I was studying the Taittiriya Upanishad. And the person who was teaching it gave this story, and it has stayed with me for a long till now. So the Taittiriya Upanishad has three parts. One is the Shikshavali, then the Brahmanandavali, and the third one is Bhrigavali. Right? The Shikshavali is the preparation for a student to understand the Jnana, and then the Bhrigavali is a set of values and upasanas that are given to a student. So here a student has studied in a Gurukulam for 12 years. Then he gives his Guru Dakshina and he goes to the normal world to live a normal life. And the most important thing is, in the Vedic vision, he was taught a skill. He used that skill to then take care of his family and then live his life. So one such student uh, finishes his 12 years in the Gurukulam, and he is called by his teacher, and he was hoping that the Acharya will tell him, you've done a great job, go back and live your life. But the Acharya told him, listen, you're the best student in the group. Therefore, for the 12 years that you have studied here, I want 12 gold coins. And I'm going to give you 1 year to go earn the gold coins. And the next Guru Purnima, our debt gets cleared. You can go back and live your normal life. So the student was thinking, Are, my Guru was epitome of Vairagya. Look at him. Now he wants gold, everything. But he says, no, he taught me. And I think that's the least I can do for him. So he was a smart guy. He was taught rituals. So he goes back to the town, his village. 1 year he slogs, earns the 12 gold coins, earns enough to buy 12 gold coins. And he comes back next Guru Purnima to the Acharya's house. And that arrogance every student has. Ye lo, tumhare 12 gold coins, right? So the teacher, indifferent, takes the coin, puts it aside, offers him some tea, coffee, whatever, and says, how was your 1 year? Now tell me, what did you learn in the last 1 year? While to make sure that you got the 12 gold coins, right? You could buy the 12, afford the 12 gold coins. So the student says, it is a lot of hard work. Second is managing expectations is very difficult. Third, you have to be very good at your work. So the teacher says, listen, yeah, all this is KG1, KG2. You are the smartest kid in my class. Tell me something more deeper. So the student says, the whole game is managing expectations, managing relationships. So the teacher says, looks like you're really tired. Let's have dinner. Tomorrow morning, you go to sleep. Maybe in a fresh mind, you'll be able to think about it a lot better. Let's have breakfast and then we can continue this conversation. So the student has dinner, has breakfast. Next day morning, they meet and the teacher asks him, did you think about the question that I asked you last night? He says, I've been thinking, and there's a very strange thing that has happened in the last 1 year. The moment I started earning money, my parents who used to nag me about small things stopped. Okay. Then my parents started praising me. Third, he says, I could actually get away with a lot of things because I had the money. And number 4, he says that people started respecting me even though I didn't deserve the respect. So now the teacher says, this is what I wanted to listen. And he makes a statement which is from Bhadrahari's Subhashitam. He says, Sarve guna kanchana ashrayanti. He says, the man who has wealth alone is high-born. He alone is learned. He alone is an erudite scholar. He alone is a virtuous person. He alone is handsome, has all the virtues only because he's a rich man. Right? This is a very impactful story.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we fail to realize just how little value the money has, and we've overemphasized it to such an extent that we give it all the meaning and the importance. But it's only a tool, right?
Yeah.
In the end of the day. Yeah.
But because it gives us that sense of superiority complex, it's become so important to us.
Yeah. Because we measure our self-worth against it based on how much we can earn, how much we can achieve,
how much we can spend.
how much we can spend, of course. Oh, but there are enough easy pay loans now. So even if you can't afford it, you can buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so this is what it is. We earn money because it makes us feel better than who we actually are.
Hmm. Yeah. So I think the natural question that comes to me then is how should we approach money rather than inflating
So,
our sense of ego?
yeah. So the teacher then tells him, gives him a series of instructions. Uh, the convocation speech, one may call it. He says, first lesson you need to learn is don't substitute your dharma with money. He says, you should do what is to be done. Don't use money to escape from doing what is to be done. Now, it seems a very simple piece of advice, but it is not. It is very, very profound. So when I used to run the baby store, I used to see my business for toys maximum on a Friday, right? Because both the parents were working, the child was either in a creche or with a play home or whatever, or the maid was looking out. Now, what do they do for the guilt? Every Friday they will come, say, baby, which toy do you want? They will buy the toy. And it is like telling themselves, oh, listen, for all that I didn't do, the toy is making up for it. Isn't this a substitute?
Yeah.
We know our partner wants to sit down and have a chat with us, right? We're not there for them. We are traveling the whole week, right? We can take out that 15 minutes, but 15 minutes is a little too much. So what do? We buy a gift and then we somehow get out of that situation.
Yeah.
This is substituting money for our responsibilities. You look at parents and children today.
Mm.
They don't have time for the children. And then then the parents will say, the children don't listen to us. They will not listen to you, right?
Mm. Mm.
So if you start substituting money for your, let's say, your duties with money, it is going to catch up. This is what the teacher tells me. Don't substitute your duty. Don't give up your duties, and don't try to use money as a mean to escape from those duties.
Yeah, so profound.
Yes. And what does he tell him? He tells him three things which are non-optional. He gives him a whole series of to-do lists, right? But he gives three words which have made a large impact on my life. He says, in and through your daily activities, swadhyaya na pravachanacha. He says, self-introspection is a must.
Mm.
You cannot compromise. The second is, don't stop learning.
Mm.
And the next two words he uses are swadhyaya na pramadaha. He says, your introspection should be such that you don't repeat the same mistake again.
Mhm. Yeah.
And he goes on to say that, listen, go from here. First, settle your business, then get married.
Mm.
Now, a teacher, a sannyasi is telling a student to get married. He understood that the attraction towards the opposite sex, okay, is innate.
Mm.
Second is there is a need for companionship.
Mm.
So he says, go get married. With marriage comes its responsibilities. Fulfill those responsibilities. You
Mm.
can use the money to make it better, but no substitution.
Mm.
Then he says, go have children.
Mm.
Why? Because once you have children, then we start learning to compromise and make life less about us, isn't it?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you need to bring up children, especially in today's time, you need to have a lot of money,
A lot of money.
right?
Yeah.
So it is, he say, go have children and provide the best for your children.
Yeah.
Then raise those children, make them capable. If you need to make them capable, you need to ensure that they have values,
Mm.
they have a goal in life. Please. Now, this is not going to happen by magic.
Yeah.
So the parents' responsibility is to give these to the children.
Mm.
Then he says that after they are mature and they are capable, you get them married.
Mm. After they are mature and capable.
Capable, which means that you don't need to babysit them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when the first grandchild is born, you walk away,
Mm.
which is the Vanaprastha ashrama.
Mm.
Now, walking away doesn't mean that you go to a forest. There are no forests left in India, right?
Yeah. Where will you go?
So, what does walking away mean? Okay, is don't meddle with their lives.
Yeah.
And Swami Dayanandaji used to say this very beautifully. He says, if you stop meddling with their lives and you live your life on your own, the success of your parenting is defined when they have a problem. If they have a problem and you're the first phone call, it means you have been a good parent.
Mm.
He says that should be the goal of life.
Yeah.
And in and through all this, he says that go earn money. He says, Swadhyaya na pramadaha, Swadhyaya na pravachanecha. Then he says, children, Swadhyaya na pramadaha, Swadhyaya na pravachanecha. He goes on like this. First, in the first section, he says, Swadhyaya na pravachanecha. In the second section, he says, Swadhyaya na pramada, which means that there is a life which we are living. Let us learn from it.
Mm.
And the money that we have, the resources that we have, let us utilize it in a manner in which we bring out the best in the children that we have.
Mm.
So Swadharma was a very important part of a Grihastha ashrama's life, or any ashrama, right, has their own Swadharma. But in this case, since we are talking about a family life, the role of money is to make sure that the children are given the best of opportunities.
Yeah.
And provided a platform so that they can become better human beings.
Yeah.
This was the first aspect that he actually spoke about.
Wow. I think that's so powerful. So use the skill, earn the money, and keep introspect regularly and keep upgrading yourself. Make no mistake. And what you said, I think my yoga teacher often tells me, as a grihastha ashrama yogi, he said your objective is only two P's. He says prosperity and progeny. Right? So just do those two things and you're golden. You don't have to do anything more. And what you shared also, right? That you have enough prosperity to set your children up for whatever success that they need. And for me, this still feels incomplete. Is this all there is? That you keep creating wealth and providing for, fulfilling your responsibilities? Does that leave you complete, or is there more to the story?
So the second part of the teaching is, he says, emotional growth is understanding that because I am a consumer, it is my responsibility to actually be a contributor.
Mm.
I have consumed, therefore I need to contribute.
Okay, tell me more.
So he says that every individual has responsibilities.
Yeah.
The responsibility, one aspect is with regards to family. The second aspect is with regards to society in general.
Yeah.
And that is where the Panchamahayajnas come up.
Mm.
So the five non-optional, it's also called Nitya Naimitika Karma, right?
Yeah.
Which are duties or obligations whose performance is a must. And they say the non-performance leads to papa.
Mm. Yeah.
Which means that these are five non-optional commitments of mine. So they are Deva Yajna, Rishi Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Manushya Yajna, and Bhuta Yajna. Now, before we go to them, let's understand what is the meaning or how can we look at the word Yajna. So Yajna is an attitude wherein I see that I am a part of a larger scheme of things. And if that larger scheme of things need to work well, I need to play my part.
Mm.
So let us use the old example of a Yagashala,
Okay.
wherein there's a fire ritual which is being done. Now there's so many people involved. There's a priest, there's a Shamiana person, then there is someone who's cooking, someone who's cleaning. Now all of them are doing it for what? The larger purpose of having a yajna, right?
Mm.
So he will do his small part with the clarity that my part may be small, but it is important in the larger scheme of things.
Mm. Yeah.
That is the attitude.
Yeah.
Right? If this is clear, then let us look at the 5 yajnas.
Yeah, because usually when you say the word yagya, the first word, translation that comes in your mind is sacrifice. We've kind of equated the two, but this is an interesting way to look at it as how can you contribute to a larger goal. All right. So, so what you're saying is that one is that you follow your swadharma, you do the things and you learn from it, you learn through life, you set your children up, you do what is necessary to earn the money. But you're saying there's one thing more, which is non-negotiable, which is these 5 yagyas, which is a way of not just consuming, but giving back to a larger society. So I think when I first heard the Panchamahayajnas also, it changed my life. So I'm very excited to offer this on the podcast. So please share with us what they are.
So before I get into the Panchamahayajnas, I would like to take a simple example. We all have, let's say, cornflakes and milk for breakfast.
Okay.
Once, if you can pause and look at the number of factors which have got together
Mm.
for that cereal to come onto your table, you would be, I don't know, there's only awe.
Mm.
So many people have contributed for that food to come onto their table, even for the bowl to be made, the spoon, right? We just take it for granted because we've thrown some money.
So true.
Right? So this shift that I am enjoying some of the benefits today because of the contribution of so many people, most of whom are unknown, the best way I can give back is by commitment to these Panchamahayajnas.
Yeah.
So what is Deva Yajna? Deva Yajna is my commitment to worship the Lord for whatever small period of time during the day. It could be lighting a lamp, saying a prayer in the morning, as simple as the serenity prayer, right?
Yeah.
Lord, grant me thy grace for the serenity to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah.
We start our day with appreciation of a higher force, which is making sure everything is going the way it's supposed to go. And also that unknown factor in our lives. So Neem Karoli Babaji makes a very beautiful statement. He says, you can plan for 100 years, but the next second is decided by God.
Yeah.
So to that God we worship on a regular basis.
Mm.
We can say, maybe I will take out 5 minutes in the morning,
Yeah.
or I would light a lamp in the morning, or I can take a decision that I will go to the temple once a week. Whatever works for us, we need to have it as a non-optional commitment in our day. It doesn't end there.
Mm.
We can also contribute by giving some portion of our money for the maintenance of whatever religious institution that we believe, a temple.
Yeah.
Because there are priests whose lives are affected by it.
Mm.
This has to be a commitment we make, and we commit some of our resources for this. This is Deva Yajna.
Yeah. Beautiful. I think I always say this, that there are a lot of people who come to us and they say that they're atheists, right? They don't believe in anything. So I say that you have a higher force, or if you believe in science, or if you believe in whatever it is, right? So just taking a moment to that higher force that is beyond you and saying that prayer of appreciation or thanks. And I like what you said, that this is a non-negotiable commitment that you make for yourself, in terms of how you actually integrate it with your daily routines. And like you said, like lighting a lamp, it won't even take more than 5-7 minutes at the most. So committing to start the day with appreciating the higher force. Beautiful. What comes next?
The second aspect of Deva Yajna is I understand that I need an anchor.
Yeah.
And the best anchor is the Lord, right? Whoever you worship, Lord Shiva, Vishnu, Hanumanji, whoever. Because you realize that the people around you will not be there with you all the time.
Yeah.
So my teacher used to say this. He says, in the ICU, there's only one person seeing you, and that's the Lord.
Yeah.
Right? So can we understand that as we go along, as we get older, people are going to move away. They have their lives to live.
Yeah.
Gradually, the number of people who will be around us are going to be lesser and lesser. There will come a point in time where I'll be all alone.
Yeah.
Right? So at that point, can I have someone whom I can hold on to? And that is the Lord.
Yeah.
And this will not happen overnight. Bhagavan says, right? If you want to think of me at the last moment of your life, you have to think of me throughout your life.
Yeah. That's when you'll remember.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the second aspect of Deva Yajna.
Got it. Got it.
So the next one is Rishi Yajna.
Okay. So Deva Yajna, we are complete. All right.
Complete.
Okay. So next comes Rishi Yajna. Okay.
Yeah. So Rishi Yajna is worshipping or respecting the entire teaching tradition. Here, we are looking at both secular and spiritual.
Okay.
Today, what we are is because of the effort put in by people to give us the knowledge we have.
Yeah.
And they have, in fact, passed it on from one generation to another, selflessly. So I take some moment during the day, earmark some time, and I respect them. And what is the best way to respect them? Study what they have written. So I can take up, let's say, a section of the Karma Kanda section, or Upasana section, or even the Jnana section. And then I commit to learning something or the other about the whole tradition every day.
Mm.
And if you go back to the two words, Swadhyaya, na
Yeah.
Pravachanacha, right?
Always
I
learning.
always keep learning.
Mm.
They had a vision. Is my life aligning with the vision that they have? Is there a gap? Why is the gap?
Mm.
So this committed pursuit of knowledge, it could be also pursuit of secular knowledge, upgrading your, let's say, your IT skills or
Yeah.
upgrading your communication skills. That is respecting the people who've put in time and effort to create the systems for today.
Yeah. I think when you were sharing that, I was reminded of a few IG bios that say self-taught, self-made, whatever, coach, influencer, yada yada, right? And I think that we really have to have another level of arrogance to call ourselves self-made when we are born with so much wealth of knowledge and culture and downloaded from every single thing, right?
The second aspect of the Rishi Yajna is not only do I commit to study, I also commit to sharing.
Mm. Okay.
Because the entire teaching tradition has been Guru Parampara,
Mm.
which is Guru Shishya. So you are in a position today to share your knowledge with someone. You make it a responsibility that you will share your knowledge.
Okay. So that is part of your duty. That means if you're learning
Yes,
it, you have to commit to teaching it. Okay.
yes. So maybe you can take some time out and spend 10 minutes in a day or 10 minutes a week to share some of the knowledge that you have with people around you.
Mm.
Maybe in your office, you can sit down and say, hey, let me tell you about some of the things I've learned this week.
Okay.
In addition to this, supporting educational institutions
Mm.
is also a duty. It could be secular,
Mm.
it could be religious, because it's education, knowledge which can never be taken away from anybody.
Yeah.
And knowledge is the one that will help a person fix his life.
True.
So Rishi Agya is not only worshipping the rishis, yes, it is must, but its practical application in life is I study, I share, and I support religious organizations who are committed to sharing knowledge.
Mm.
Or maybe I can sponsor a student.
Yeah. Got it. So we start with the Deva Yajna where we are going down to a higher faith. And then we come down to a Rishi Yajna where we are studying the scriptures or studying something secular related to our field and are promoting that education in a way. Is there more to Rishi Yajna or do we go to the
Yeah,
next one?
we'll go to the next one.
Okay.
It's called Pitru Yajna.
Hmm.
It is respecting our ancestors.
Yeah.
So in the Hindu tradition, they have something called Tarpana, where you offer oblations
We are departed.
every Amavas. Yes.
Yes.
Now, what is the significance? Are we actually offering the oblations because the ancestors need it? No. We are offering oblations as a way of saying thank you to them.
Hmm.
We are here today because of them, right?
Yeah.
Number one. Number two is what we have today is because of a lot of sacrifices they've made,
Hmm.
a lot of inconveniences they have gone through, a lot of things they wanted to do which they didn't do so that we could have the best. So this Pitru Yajna is respecting our parents, and if they have passed away, we do whatever rituals they are. If they are alive, we commit to looking after them.
Hmm.
We should provide for our parents.
Yeah.
Now here there's a big difference. This is my view, is that there's a difference between providing for our parents and making our parents happy. I think you cannot make anybody happy. Happiness is an individual choice.
Yeah.
As long as you are clear that you're giving them what they are needing and respectfully, it is Pitru Yajna.
Yeah.
Second aspect of this is not only do we respect the people in our family, but we can also support old age homes.
Yeah.
We can maybe look after someone who is the medical expenses of someone in our family who cannot afford it.
Yeah.
So this commitment to the elders in our society is called Pitru Yajna. So Dayananda says something. He says that Vriddha Vyavahara is very important. How we conduct ourselves is important because our children are seeing how we are behaving with our parents and the seniors.
Yeah.
And one day we will be at the receiving end. So if you want to be respected by your children, you respect your parents. Respect the elders in our society. This also is a non-optional commitment.
Yeah. I think that's a beautiful reminder, right? To either take a moment to appreciate and thank our ancestors if they've departed, and to take care of our parents while they're alive in terms of meeting their needs, and also that distinction of not feeling the responsibility for their happiness. I think a lot of us also get crowded in that.
One practice you can try, which my teachers actually said, is that if you're crossing a road and you see an elderly person, hold his hand and help him cross the road. He says it doesn't cost anything, but it makes a world of difference to the other person.
Yeah. Yeah, so simple. We always think money is the answer to everything again, but it doesn't have to be. Okay.
Yeah.
So does that mean we come to our fourth yajna?
Yes, the Manushya Yajna. Manushya Yajna is, I understand I'm a part of a society. I live with people around me who have helped me in a lot of ways, known, unknown. Therefore, I should help them back. So one of the most important aspect of Manushya Yajna is Atithi Devo Bhava.
Okay.
So Atithi doesn't stand for a guest. Atithi, the one who comes unannounced, is Atithi. What is my attitude when he comes in? Can I see him as someone who is respectful? And can I give him respect even though he has come unannounced?
Interesting. I never thought of it that way. Okay.
So I have a friend who is a Brahmin. And he says that if you're having lunch and someone walks in, it is Lord Vishnu. He says, make him sit down, give him something to eat. Yeah. So Annadanam, especially for Manushya Yajna, is considered a very big dhanam. Because food is the only thing a human being says enough to, right? Alam.
Yeah.
After 4 chapatis, if you feed him the fifth, he's going to say, no, bus.
Yeah.
So Annadanam is considered a very big dhanam. How do you practice this? Few small things that can help. When you go out to the office, take 2 extra chapatis with you.
Yeah.
And there would be someone who's got 1 chapati less or who's hungry. Offer it. You don't need to squirm, right? Meri 2 chapati chali jayegi, to main bhukha marunga.
Yeah.
And you can realize if you take 2 chapatis extra for lunch every day, that means you're doing what? 300 into 2, 600 chapatis a year?
Yeah.
And within a few years, you have done quite a lot. You
Yeah.
can take a small practice like this. Or the second one is wish everyone.
Mm.
And if you can contribute to someone's life, take that, put in that extra effort and go out of your way to help someone. Let's say someone needs to be taken to the hospital.
Yeah.
If you have the time, go with the person. Or if you don't have the time and you have the resources, send your driver.
Mm.
We need to give back to society. You can't live all by yourself.
Yeah.
This contributing is Manushya Yajna. And it can be, each one will have their own spheres. I know
Mm.
some people who say, my way of giving back to society is to provide education. Some people say it's to provide books. Some people say it's to give medicines. You identify what works for you, but keeping aside a certain amount of money to give back to society is also our duty.
Beautiful. And I can almost see how it all adds up, right? That connection to community comes from all of these things, wherein you're uh, not just taking but also offering back. All right. Does that bring us to the fifth yajna then?
Yes. So Bhuta Yajna is what we call environmentally friendly life.
Very hot current topic.
Yeah. We are so selfish that we are willing to exploit at any cost. Can we give back something to maintain that harmony? Because it is our duty. Can we plant a few more trees? Can we feed a few birds? Can we support some, you know, animal organization? Can we consume less amount of paper? How can we protect the environment? We can do our small things. And we need to do it because what are we leaving behind for the next generation? This is the fifth one. And here also, everyone has to find what works for them. There's no one size fits all category. One needs to identify what works for a person. And once he has committed to it, don't make it obsessive. You don't need to tell the world that you're doing it. Do it in whatever small way you can, but do it. So with these five, now you have a proper vision of life. You join both the Swadharma and the Panchamahayajnas. And now the utilization of the resources, as in this case, money, is not only about you, but also to give back. And this makes life complete.
Yeah. How how powerful. I think every time I hear anything from our Indian scriptures, I'm always fascinated by how comprehensive and thorough they are, right? In terms of really being able to say that just earning that money is not going to be fulfilling enough, or just fulfilling your responsibilities is not going to be fulfilling enough. So, actually completing that circle and saying, how can you give back with the resources that you've earned from all of these sources, right? Um, yeah, I think I really love that aspect. So, really using money as a way to earn prosperity and support your family and fulfill your dharma and actually contribute back to the collective well being of sorts. Yeah. Curious. And is there anything we should keep in mind while we follow these steps and path and use money as that resource?
Go back to the three things: Swadhyaya, na pravachana, and na pramada.
Yeah.
We can learn from our lives.
Yeah.
And one of the things that helps me whenever I fall off is you can see help comes from unexpected places, right?
All the time.
So why can't we also be that unexpected person who helps someone?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that way of looking at it. Yeah.
We've seen it in all, at least in my life, I know I've been stuck in places where, you see all the doors, windows, everything closing. And out of the blue, someone comes and he says, hey, listen, I'll do this for you. Right? And I've always felt, why can't I also be that one person who can do something for someone? It could be as simple as, opening the door when you're getting out of a place, or
Yeah.
helping a lady cross the street,
Yeah.
right? Or just sitting and listening to someone, or giving someone some advice.
Yeah.
These are small things where we can put our needs second, and that is fulfilling.
Yeah. In a whole different way than money can ever do, I think. Amazing. Any parting thoughts before we close for today, Ajay?
I would say, uh, please understand, money is important. I'm not belittling money.
Yeah.
Resources are important. It's how we utilize it, which is the legacy we leave behind.
Hmm. Yeah,
So, as
absolutely.
much as the assets that you leave behind, it is how you have lived your life is also a legacy that you're going to live behind. So,
Yeah.
be mindful of it.
Yeah. I'm reminded of a quote that says, use the money, don't be used by it. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you, as always, Ajay. I think another packed hour with so many nuggets of wisdom and so much for thought. Thank you for sharing that and actually opening ourselves up to new ideas and perspectives. Thank you for all that you do.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you very much, Shwetha.